So we've all seen the news recently, we've all seen the negative stuff that's happening. I try and avoid the news if I can, but sometimes if you jump on social media, it's just there. It's hard to unsee it, right? But I thought I'd share some positivity if I can. I love this podcast anyway, and it's just a fantastic podcast, really positive. And and he's talking to Nihal off of BBC Radio. And it's a positive conversation, check this, about conversations. And the importance of listening, the importance of really engaging with people face to face, telling people you miss them, telling people you love them. So the thing that stood out for me though was that 16 to 24-year-olds are feeling really lonelier than ever, really isolated. Now, if we look at why, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? But is there a way to kind of get people off social media, use this as a platform to tell people to actually get out and just engage with their friends more? I've learnt myself recently that just being, part of this MN Defiance group and the Defiance Army, as it's called, it's brought me back together with community and with old friends I haven't seen for ages, and it's just been a blessing, really. Now, I know this is a bit serious for a comedian, but I'm trying to be more myself on you. And, if that means then putting the comedy stuff on pause for a bit, then I think it's quite important. Last week, I gave a talk on blogging, which I made a little video about, to a group in a college. And what's interesting is that not a lot of them in that group actually read books anymore or blogs. Most people, like my own children, just go on and watch YouTube or shorts. I think one person in the group said that they read Stephen King quite a lot on their Kindle, and that was fantastic to hear. So we swapped notes on Stephen King, but also what was interesting was they read on a Kindle, so they don't actually read a book. It's still a device in front of your face. And you know what? My kids are no different. They'd rather watch YouTube shorts than pick up a book sometimes. But it's just encouraging people to keep reading and stay away from screens, which is ironic because I'm making a video about it. But the important takeaway I took away from this is just to actually just be more engaged in conversation. So, not have my phone in the room when the kids are around, and engage with them and play games instead of checking my phone constantly, which is a hard habit to break, especially when I've posted stuff. I want to check for likes, get that dopamine hit. But the realization was that one day I'm going to have 16 to 24-year-olds myself, and I'm going to need some tools in my toolkit to help get them off, wherever it is at that time. It could be virtual reality in a few years' time, wherever it is they're doing, to actually get them more engaged in conversation and more engaged in other skills. And don't get me wrong, there is a balance. Of course there is. We all had PlayStations growing up. We all had Grand Theft Auto. We had many a good hour. But we used to play with friends. We used to play usually in the same room, and you could see people by your side as you played on the first Grand Theft Auto, in my case. So there's room for everything, and I think one of the things I took away from this as well was, there's a need for fire, right? We can cook food with fire, but if we abuse fire, then it can burn your house down. And it's the same with anything, right? If you use anything all day, you're going to get either repetitive strain injury. Say you used a hammer all day. That looked dodgy, didn't it? If you used a hammer all day, you're going to get RSI, right? So there's balance. I think it's just balance for everything. The mobile phone, I think, is the gift and the curse, isn't it? It's the good and the bad. It's the best tool we've ever had. The internet's the best thing we've ever had. Best time to be alive. But it can be abused if we get too addicted to it. So I'm not preaching anything really from it. I'm just saying, look, have a listen, make your own judgments, and this isn't going to be for everyone. But if you're like me and you'd rather get more engaged in conversation with real people, because I always feel better if I go to the gym and have a chat to people, turn my podcast off for a bit, like this one, and actually listen to people and try not to talk over the top of people, and try not to be in such a bloody rush all the time. So yes, there's negativity out there. There's always stuff, right? There's always stuff in the world. If you look for it, you'll find the negative, but also there's the positive, such as sticking a positive podcast in your ear. So that's a long one. It only meant to be a few seconds. I was only going to do a 60-second video, but here we are. And I guess I'm feeling good after the gym, and I wanted to share. So hope you find use in this. Maybe I should start a podcast. This is gone quite long form, isn't it? So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's make it a conversation. And as always, keep smiling. Reach out if you need to, right? Billy Connolly said, don't trust your politicians. Instead, listen to comedians, right? Don't know if that's true. They're all comedians, you know. You might think I'm speaking absolute waffle. But anyway, thanks for following. Thanks for watching. Peace out and one love. Ta-da.